Hey guys, it's Lorenzo. So I thought I would feature one of my indoor grow spaces and do a January 2016 update on my collection. This would actually be my first update on my orchid collection on my YouTube page, so I'm kind of excited about that. As you can see, this is one grow space that I have in my living room. It's in a south-facing window. You can see there's my truck in the background. My truck's name is Bruce, like the shark from Finding Nemo. So, we're gonna start with this orchid here. This is a Psychopsis Mendenhall Hildos. It's actually doing pretty good. He bloomed once for me already, but as you can see, there's the spike, and there's actually another bud that wants to start. I think this guy is stalling out right now because I'm excited about this. You can see there's a new growth right there, and I have a feeling that the plant is trying to invest all its energy into developing that new pseudobulb. You can actually see it right there. It's on the back side. But look at these cool leaves. It's got nice modeling on them. The pseudobulbs look pretty good. They've always been just slightly wrinkled. No matter how much I hydrate this guy, but he has done pretty good, and he really likes his spot here on the top shelf. This is where I grow him. He has always been in this spot, so I'm going to leave him as is. I have here a Vanda. This is a Vanda that I got from Lowe's. It is I can't even pronounce it, a Kulwadi fragrance Kning. I think that's K-Wen is actually how you would pronounce that. But this one has nice spots on it, like a red spotted Vanda. So I've yet to get it to spike or anything else. So he's just kind of hanging out up here on the top shelf, soaking in the sun when he can. This is an Oncidium in the Oncidium Alliance. It's a Colmanara Wildcat Green Valley, I think. And as you can see, he's in full bloom. Look at all these awesome blooms. I took this guy for show and tell at our Orchid Society meeting recently. There's another spike over here. But he's doing really good. Look at these huge pseudobulbs. Sorry that it's a little bit dark because the backlight from the window. Nonetheless, this guy has been a great bloomer since I've had him. I've had him since October. I won him at an auction, at our Orchid Society auction, and he's just been doing great, hanging out here with me in my living room and giving me reliable blooms, so it's nice to be able to come into the living room and see that every day. I did a video on transplanting cuttings from a pothos ivy plant, which this is the result. They're actually doing really, really well. Look at that. They've grown so much. This whole branch has actually kind of gone all the way around. So those are doing pretty good. I have here a Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. I'll try to post a picture of this also in the opening segment, which you probably already saw. But there's one, I have another one right here. When I purchased it, it was part of a pair. They were in one pot, and then when I realized there were actually two plants, so I separated them and put them in their own little pots. So they seem to be doing pretty good. They've actually grown quite a bit. This one grew a new leaf this year, and this one also has a new leaf. They're quite small. They're still getting their bearings. They're still, I wouldn't consider them seedlings, but they're definitely juvenile plants, so maybe next year I'll get a flower spike out of them if I can. I did a video on this guy. This is the Maxillarea tenifolia. I got this on the clearance table at Lowe's. He's still recovering. I haven't really seen much difference. The pseudobulbs haven't plumped up or even shown any sign that they're recovering very well, but the condition that it was in, the roots were pretty much nil and I had to cut them all off, so he's still rebounding. From what I gather, it's a vigorous grower, so I'm not too worried. I have an Encyclia Serena O'Neill over here. These pseudobulbs have also shrilled up. A lot of the roots died, so I transplanted him, or her I should say, pretty recently, maybe within the past month and a half or so. But I have this new growth, if you can see it, if it'll focus, right there. And I have a feeling that the plant is putting all its energy into the new growth, which I'm fine with because at least it's giving it nutrients. And I saw a lot of root development, so this gal is coming along. I have another Vanda hanging off to the side over here. This one's a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this one. Look at the roots on this guy. This is a Vanda Pachara Delight, so this would be more on the blue side of flowers. I have yet to get a spike out of this, but it's definitely grown a couple of leaves. I'm pretty satisfied with the growth of this so far. Put it back in its place. Down here is the Orchid Hospital. This is where I have either cuttings or clippings or of other plants, but any keikis, I will pot them up and put them here, and if a plant's not doing so well, I put it in the Orchid Hospital and see how it does. So far everything seems to be alive. These are actually a bunch of keikis from a mother plant of a Dendrobium anceps, and so is this, but these guys don't have roots. They were keikis that I took off from a bigger branch that have yet to produce any roots. So I just kind of laying them on top of some sphagnum moss, and hopefully I can get some root development out of that. I have a Dendrobium kingianum. It's actually a little, you can't even see it. It's in there. It was like a little nub that fell off of one of the main plant. And it had two little roots, so it's a little mini keiki, but I don't know. I'm trying to see if it's going to survive or if it's even going to grow. I did see that it was starting to kind of branch out, like a little pseudobulb wanted to start on the side, so we'll see. This orchid and that one and this are all part of the same plant. It was a Schomburgkia tibacinus that wasn't doing well at all. So I was going to unpot it, and it ended up just kind of coming apart in different pieces, and so I'm just trying to keep it alive. There's been some, like the new growths have been going pretty strong on that back one. This guy, I don't know. I really don't know if this is going to survive, but that's why they're in the Orchid Hospital. I have some more keikis from the Dendrobium anceps that I'm going to give to one of my orchid friends. And down there I have a Dendrobium anosmum. I have two keikis that my friend gave me at the Orchid Society meeting, and hers had a bunch of keikis and so did mine, so we just kind of snapped a few off and gave each other went on our way. They seem to be doing okay, and there's actually a keiki on a keiki. You can see it right there. This little terrarium, this little egg thing, is actually full of cactus. So I have all kinds of cactus in there that I picked up in Las Vegas, Nevada at the airport of all places. So I potted up the seeds and the little container it came in, and we'll see. Look at how many cactus are in there. Those are all individual cactuses, so if anyone wants a cactus, I've got them. Down here I have a staghorn fern that I got on the clearance for like $1. I just keep it down there. I have a Christmas cactus over here that, I'm sorry the light is really bad. I just put them on the bottom shelf. It's kind of dark outside. And lastly, in this grow space, I have a noID Cattleya that is about to bloom. You can see here's the bud. It's going to be purple, or at least have a purple lip. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like. There's one bud and there's another one right there. And there's someone that wants to say hello, and that's Heidi Klum, my little doggy. She's just very curious at what I'm doing over here. Heidi, Heidi, say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. There you go. That's about all you're gonna get out of her. Anyway, guys, that is one of my grow spaces in my living room that I'm showing you today. As you can see, everything is nicely on their shelf. South-facing window. It's kind of a cloudy day outside, so these normally get a little bit more light. I recently just put in the sheer curtain because the sun rays are coming directly in and I just don't want it to burn anything, so I put that sheer curtain just to kind of filter out the light. But today it is a cloudy day. So with that, that is my grow space. I'll make another video on the second grow space, and I'll post that up in the next few days. But until then, just want to give you a little snapshot of what I have. That's about 1/3 of my collection right here. So if you like this video, please subscribe. If you want to see more, leave a comment below. And until next time, happy growing!